Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back here. Another day of fast gravitational report. Um, Took me about 1 hour to look at it, even more to I can understand the energy that we are going to be facing it right now. Still, there's going to be some kind of like a little bit more longer period as this shadow of this. Hidden things to be processed in the psyche. And this is where you're going to feel all the mental, all the psychological blockages, and so on and so on. Venus is already started moving out from this square with Jupiter, but still you're going to feel this energy of lack of love and values. Depends what the values is for you. Of course, hi Nimira, glad to see you here. And now with this love and values, you're going to feel like, okay, there is no love and value, so that there will be no value for me. 10 for the certain things cannot grow. That is going to be an energy we're going to be feeling at 7 o'clock. But despite all this, okay, despite all these energies, despite all these troubles in there, the moon today, that it's she's going to be at Taurus at I spoke about this yesterday. It is going to be some good energy because the moon right now in Taurus is about to put the things in perspective into the material world. In there, this is going to be about providing real estate, a new job, things that you want to establish this things so they don't have to be worried about it. What is it with the moon though? Well, the moon, first of all, she's going to be a sextiling Jupiter. That is going to be helping in there of like things can grow. Don't act on temporary feelings because you have not learned what is love and what is values. Love and values, we are going to be start learning it, particularly into the 3D. That is going to be when the Venus is going to be coming into Taurus. That is a her what? Home. Okay, Venus has two homes. Same thing as with Mercury there. So with Mars. But we are going to be talking about what is going to be this love and values as Venus is going to be going towards what? Towards Chiron. You have to learn how to heal. A lot of the people is going to be start looking at for what? I need to talk to someone who is have understandings about whatever your issues can be emotions, it could be psychological, it could be energetic, and so on and so on, issues about the values. It could be even finances, because if you need finances, right, you're not going to go to emotional doctor, you're going to be going to a what? Financial advisor, right? So this is going to be some also that energies as well. We are going to be seeing that in the upcoming days. But today, as the moon, it's going to be sextiling the North Node, Mercury, and Mars. She's going to help against this shadow. Is the same thing. The moon, it's going to be helping Jupiter to see the needs that you need to grow. And that's how the day is going to be starting up, even though that the inner work that's going to be at Capricorn is going to be opposing Jupiter and is going to be squaring Venus. Venus is still squaring the work. You don't want to work the things about love and values. But you need to look at it, what the love and values is about within you first. Okay? Don't expecting things from the partner where is yours. Okay? So a lot of the people want to have things pretty much ready into the golden platinum. Without they don't understand the value, what does it takes to bring them, right? So this is one of these heavy energies that it's going to be, but don't make decisions on a temporary feelings. This is going to be one of the things that you're going to feel like I have to do this, do that, because in the next hour, the energy is going to be turning completely great. We're going to be preparing for tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about this energy of tomorrow by the end of the report. because the moon is going to be going through Taurus. She's going to be meeting what? She's going to be meeting tomorrow. She's going to be meeting Uranus. But right now, particularly at 8 o'clock, this is where you put the things into perspective, into the material world. You organize. The intuition knows how to put things not only in the mental level, not only on an emotional level, it knows how to organize. So the people are going to be feeling this energy, particularly about 9:30, where the inner work is going to be adjoining Pluto. We see this beautiful angel wings they are going to be creating in there. So with these energies that it's coming towards us, we're going to see how much your emotions is going to put support on pretty much all the weak spots. Why? Because the growth is going to be coming in. The growth has to be coming in with us as we are seeing it. The Jupiter is trining what? Mercury and Mars. You need to grow into the level of psyche or the level of soul. Because if your soul has not grown, that's what that is. The tough times create what? Strength. So with these energies later on at 9 o'clock, the ascendant is going to be going into Gemini. The inner work is going to be at Aquarius, squares the moon. This new ways of rebellious stuff is going to be like, hey, wait a minute, not that much rebellion. Okay? Ground yourself down. Okay? Get grounded. All right? Face the reality as it is and face it in there. Don't be so much in this too. And it's good because today, as I was talking about it, Mercury retrograde ending. So now your internal communications from within yourself, you want to share it with others. And that's what happened today. I had a very great talks with people about, particularly about this. And if you feel like you need to talk to someone, sure, go ahead and do it. If you feel like you want to express yourself, go ahead and do it. Because that's going to be bringing that energy that it comes from inside out there for the benefits for everybody. All right, 10 o'clock, this is going to be the inner work. It's still going to be an Aquarius. It's going to be a squaring Uranus. You don't like those changes. You don't like that the way that life is pushing you through this. And right now, the moon is going to be like, well, we have to look those changes more. I have to look at it to this level of adaptations into the new realities. Because the old doesn't work anymore. And you're going to feel like the old ways is not going to open the new doors. And with that energy, people's going to be look a little bit different. But you're going to understand in the next hour, this is going to be at 11 o'clock, that the ascendant that is it with Jupiter and the dark sun particularly, with the inner work that it's between Mercury and Mars, and right now the moon, it is very, very supportive of all the processes that goes on. The moon is going to be like, don't be making these actions, particularly from this shadowing energy, acting on the base of growth. You already know how to be. In a way, this energy is going to be, if you're not familiar with the movie, the Harry Potter, this is where a Dumbledore, it's teaching Harry Potter through Snape how not to be invaded by Voldemort in the mind. That's what it is. You're going to feel energy that it comes in. It says like no good, not this, not that, and so on and so on. You're going to feel where that comes from. That's going to be coming from Lilith. Okay? Because right now the collective people that emitting out there within the people, it is about that. Okay? So don't tap in that much into that collective energies, but you have to be responsible. How are you going to be reacting into that energies? And this is where the moon, the intuition is going to come in as a support with this. If you remember it in the movie, when actually Voldemort succeed and enter Harry's mind, he said like, You were never were happy. You were never had a true friend. You never smile. You never understand what properly way of love is. And that's kind of I can kind of like pinpoint you to look at it. You maybe go ahead and see it on YouTube. There is some clips about it if you haven't watched the movie. All right. 12 o'clock, the inner work is going to be with the Sun and Neptune. Beautiful, very beautiful energy, stable. You already look at the stability of the new things within yourself. Hopefully you did the inner work to feel that stability in there, even though that Mercury and Mars, kind of like you lost your mind in there, you don't know where to act and so on. You need to remember this is going to be for a little bit longer, okay? I gave the very well example today about like you try to wash 1,000 clothes into a one big barrel in there, and you let them soak, then you start digging them out, and then you start washing it. But in the bottom, in the end, when you're ending in there, it's a lot of mud, right? And this is what is this purging right now. Mercury retrograde in Pisces is great for the revaluations of spiritual and so on, but it's one of the worst nightmare because you have to face the things in the psyche. You have to face the things that you escaped where in soul, in the spirituality, in the religion, and so on and so on and so on. So it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be what? Worth it. What you from? I'm Bulgarian, but currently I live in Spain. Sí, mi solo vive de la España. All right, 1 o'clock, the inner work is going to be with Venus. I know Venus currently right now in Aries, this is about the baby, like, and nobody pay attention to me, no it's this, there is no love, and so on. Why? Venus has only one aspect. That is a squaring with Jupiter in Cancer. There is no growth within the family. Right, and this is going to be some energy, but we're going to see that in the next few days, this energy is going to be less and less and less every single day. Okay, and with this inner work that is going to be between Venus and Jupiter, this is where you find the truth from within you about the way you have the love and values. What do you value? Okay, this is the same thing, like do you enjoy life, right? Because enjoy is also a value. You value that joy that you have with life. So at 2 o'clock the inner work is going to be start walking into Taurus. Of course there is some things that needs to be paid attention more into the material world, but Pluto says like don't do it like before. It's not going to work. The same time, the ascendant that it's at Leo is going to be squaring the moon. It's going to be like, don't be with that ego. Because some of the people, they're trying to develop this material stuff and so on and so on, when they're losing what? They're losing the emotional, they're losing the psychology, they're losing the spirituality, and they're losing connection with the universe. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I got all this and so on, what I'm going to be doing with that, right? So this is going to be some very interesting moments, because that energy is actually going to be, the way you see it, is going to come in from Mars directive exactly towards Leo. This is a Leo Pisces energy, but at the same time, okay, that energy is going to be seeking for what? A balance. Okay, balance. All right, 3 o'clock, the inner work is going to be with the moon. This is going to be a processing in there. The moon is going to be at 19 degrees at Taurus. We're going to see the inner work at 17 degrees in there. And with all those energies, particularly right now, this is this beautiful trine with Mars. Is about get your actions in soul within you. Win the fight within the psyche, with the shadow. The question is when that moment is going to be coming in, we're going to see some lots of these tensions is going to be start rising up because Mercury just slowly is going to be going into there. So we're going to have some Mercury going into the 10th degree, and 10 Lilith is going to follow up in the 10th degree. So we're going to have the squares with the shadow and this conscious subconscious shadowing period for a little bit longer. Don't think about it that, okay, Mercury retrograde is direct and 10, we're good. There is some things that needs to be done and to this much longer. All right, 4 o'clock. This is going to be the duality insight, the dweller. This is going to be when you going to be processing. We're going to feel these energies of that process. With this, we talked about it. It's like every other day. That's 4 o'clock. That's the ascendant deity with the South Node and Virgo squaring Lilith and opposing Mercury retrograde and Mars. Yes, you're going to be facing those challenges, but you need to understand those are challenges. Don't make them problem, and it's kind of like, oh, I don't want to deal with them. Those are challenges for growth. Yeah. God of Mafia, which country? I'm in Spain. 5 o'clock. The inner work is going to be at Gemini. The ascendant is going to be at Virgo. Again, again with Mars. Pay attention to these energies of Mars. You may going to feel helpless, hopeless, no this, no that, and so on and so on. Take that out of the equation. This is kind of like you have to develop the inner strength within the spirit and the soul as Harry was fighting Voldemort. Okay? Sooner or later, that's what the destiny is going to call in. Of course, there will be no balance. It's not going to be fair. It's not the right thing. We're going to see this energy at 6 p.m. as the ascendant is walking into Libra. And this is why if you're Libra and you have anything in the first degrees of Libra, you're going to feel the oppositions of this new beginning. And of course, the inner work is the beginning of Cancer. That is talking about, hey, it's got to have some cardinal things. Okay? You see, the problem is coming. There is no balance. A lot of people are going to be feeling it. There is no balance within the relationship. Whatever is not missing the balance. But if you look at the energy, it's going down to Pluto. Pluto is supporting Neptune, the Sun, and Saturn. And then that energy is supported what? With Uranus. So now those accepting of changes, which is we are going to be seeing it, how they're going to be start coming in by the end of the day, which is going to be at 11 o'clock at night there. But we are going to see why would the moon will go to figure out things with who? With unpredictability, but also adaptability to change. And that's what Uranus is. To create unpredictable events so it can be adaptable. He is the one who drives these forces of change. Oh, I don't like to be there. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. And Uranus says, really? That's mean you weak. So if I have to make you strong, I'm going to be giving you this over and over until you get strength, until you learn. And he says, I can. Okay? Today, through the talks that I was talking about it, you have to learn there is no perfections. Perfections is found in the imperfections. You cannot know how to read if you don't know the alphabet. So can you expect to be a perfect reader if you never learn the alphabet? All right, 7 o'clock, the inner work is going to be with Jupiter and the dark sun. This is going to be some really, really good empowerment. I mean, talking about like somebody's going to be injecting and boosting some energies, insight into the soul. This is where you feel weak, but all of a sudden, this Dumbledore comes in, he saves the days and saves Harry Potter, where the things are happening in there, right? To protect it, from so on and so on. But you're going to feel that energy. It's going to come from what? From you. Okay? You have to be learn how to be doing this within your own self, right? Because we're always expecting, outside source, but sometimes the outsource is you, just on a different level of existence. All right, 8 o'clock. The inner work is still gonna be at Cancer. Values about family and the things that is going to be. Okay, so as the sun is going to be between Neptune and Saturn with this, you're going to be looking at what is the structure. What did you learn first things for structure? At home, when you are 4, if you can remember it, where is the first time you got schooled or you got punished or you got slapped, depends on where you live, who you are, what culture it is, right? You learn not to crossing boundaries, and there is a certain things in the family, in the organizations, in the status quo, when you're out there dealing with others. Where you learn it? Home. So you can learn how to what properly have emotional behavior. All right, 9 o'clock. The inner work is going to be at pretty much at the mid 13 degrees of Leo. This is going to be at 15 degrees of Mars in Pisces. Very beautiful, divine energies. Of course, there's going to be some require a lot more digging in as the ascendant is going into Scorpio. Okay, right now the true Lilith is went back into Scorpio. She's retrograde in Scorpio. And right now it's like you're trying to digging in, and there is nothing comes up. Why? Because the true Lilith does not have an aspect with pretty much nobody except Mars. But it's not that stronger because that's what she is. Okay? And as this energy is going to be start coming up, we see that the energy of Venus is at 20 degrees, right, is going to be much more putting away from Jupiter. But you're going to feel what? Lack of love, lack of emotions, lack of values. Okay? And this is as I said, it all depends. What did you learn in yourself? Hi, 10 o'clock, very good emotions. This is going to be the ascendant. That's going to be at Scorpio, very beautiful energy with Mars and Jupiter, the growth in there. It is about, despite that Harry didn't have a family, he was what? Supporting his family, his friends, and everything that it was. But take a look at it. Do you save you first, right? And this is going to be some need, but also this is going to be talking about an enormous amount of growth, despite all those challenges that you don't seize everything, you don't look at everything. You feel like, yeah, there was no love from a parent, so there was no love in there, and so on. Right? Or at the same time, you have to, let it go of this, right? Because of whatever happened to you. And we're going to see some at 11 o'clock. The inner work is going to be at Virgo, opposing Mercury and Mars, and squares Lilith. The ascendant is opposing the moon and Uranus. And here is, you're finding more issues. And when I look at it, the finding out of more issues is like this depth of the warrior that is like boiling it from within, right? And without the energies, I'm suggesting you to go to bed before 11 in there. Otherwise, that energy can enter within you. But if that energy comes to you and you cannot fall asleep, you can toss and turn, right? Use the growth. Jupiter in Cancer is going to be providing the growth. He is the second largest object in the solar system. That's what he represents, growth. Okay. So with these energies, of course, I know it's hard, I know it's intense, but go ahead and ground yourselves out. So this is what was the astrogravitational report for today, and I'm going to be giving you, as I promised, that overnight the moon is going to be joining Uranus, and we're going to see some at 7 o'clock in the morning, despite all those challenges again over and over. Okay, we're going to see some that the moon is going to be accepting changes because that's the way of transformations happened. And now with accepting these informations, the moon is going to be going into air, into Gemini. Okay, but we're going to see some tomorrow because this is going to be like, oh, I didn't get the love, these people didn't love me, that friend doesn't love me, and you're going to have some friendship issues. The question is are you the friend to your own self? Because if you're not a friend to your own self, you're not a friend to other people, right? But more about this, we're going to talk about tomorrow. And if this report helps you out in your life, and it helps you to even get better, to evolve, and so on, please come back tomorrow for another astrogravitational report. Much love to you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.